a big game for both sides as we reach a conclusion. It's what's been a topsy-turvy, up-and-down season, a 630-mile round trip made by Southampton. They opted to fly up to the northeast to give them the best possible preparation to this one. It's not been the happiest of hunting grounds, this region of the country. Twice they've been here so far this season to face Newcastle United and Sunderland, both of those ending in defeats back in December and January, and they've got some early defending to do here via a corner to the hosts. What can they muster up in the early stages? Training ground set piece maybe from Neil Redfern's side. In towards the near post it goes. Not the most convincing defending. In the end, Molly Lambert's shot deflects. It will be a repeat corner. This time from the left-hand side, you can just see Beth Heppel straight across there to try to take charge of things. Again, a cluster of blue shirts surround the penalty spot. Bit of a dummy before the ball's floated high. Tester at the far post, only half cleared. Again, Lambert was there with the scuffed effort this time. Couldn't quite force Fran Stenson into any sort of real action. Throwing Durham, Foster to take right in front of the dugouts where Simon Parker, the Southampton boss, just issues a few instructions. Tussle for possession and Southampton come away with it. This is the first real chance they've had to put the foot on the ball in the opening stages of this one. A couple of corners to defend in the opening 2 minutes. They just about did enough to prevent it becoming too much of a concern. Stenson with her first touch of the afternoon goes long up towards halfway. Good header by Bradley. Wins her side the possession back. Drill ball into the penalty area again. This time it was Watson looking for an option in there. Nobody in blue lurking. Quite easy goalkeeping from Stenson, who gets the side out from the back. Ball down the line from Simpson, takes a deflection. Throw into the Saints. Again, pass goes astray. But Southampton could be in here. Loose ball at the back. Early opportunity. Cut across goal. Just too much on it for Primus to get onto. Keeps it in the field of play. Cuts it back. That was an opportunity for Southampton. It opened up after a sloppy pass. Brazil on the end of it. Could have gone for goal herself. Instead opted to try find Primus, who just couldn't find the angle to fire the shot home. And a let-off for Durham in the early stages. Saints still on the front foot. Primus again. Back to goal, goes to ground. Declan Brown, the referee, says nothing doing. Saints are looking to turn the screw there. Offside flag goes up and stops this phase of attack in its tracks, but what a let-off this was. Really sloppy ball back. Brazil quick as a flash onto the end of it. Could she have gone for goal herself? Opted to be unselfish, but just didn't get the angle of the pass right. And the chance goes begging. 0-0 the score after 4 minutes here at Maiden Castle. Tolan's ball forward. Maybe more hit and hope, but Durham collect. Lambert with the low ball in. Pinballs around the penalty area before eventually being hacked clear by the Saints. End-to-end stuff in the opening stages. Wilson down the line. Lambert to collect. Again, pass goes astray. What can Southampton muster up on this occasion? Nice interchange. Almost saw them break forward, but some good defending to force the ball back into Southampton's own half of the pitch. Stenson, former Manchester City and Arsenal goalkeeper, England under-23 international. Been solid between the sticks so far this season for Southampton. Her side are on the front foot. Wasn't the best ball. Well collected by Foster, but her clearance goes astray. Bit scrappy to start this one, but throw-in goes away of the home side. Foster with the throw-in. Down the line it goes. It will be a repeat throw-in after Goddard headed out, albeit this time around 20 yards or so further forward. A real opportunity here for Durham to continue to build after a bright start from them. Neither goalkeeper forced into making a save. You have to say it was Southampton who've had the best chance in this one, but Durham looking to make one of their own. Foster. Lofty ball in. Causes a bit of confusion. Southampton do just enough to clear it momentarily, but a shot from the edge of the box. Straight into the palms of Stenson. It's a solid strike from Briggs. Caught it right-footed. Caught it nicely as well, but just couldn't angle it either side of the Saints stopper. Remains goalless, but a lively start from both sides in this one. Both looking bright on the front foot. Southampton now look to go from one end to the other. Ball into the penalty area. Fired clear by Bradley. Takes a deflection on its way through. Eventually will be collected by Lambert, who's been everywhere in the opening 7.5 minutes of this one for Durham. Goes all the way back to the goalkeeper. He finds Foster. Gallop over the halfway. Bradley. Foster again. Lofted ball. Gives something to chase. Well defended. Tara Bourne, quick as a flash from left centre-back Claire to help her teammates out. Durham found a gap there, but in the end the danger is averted for a moment or so. Throwing Durham, 8 minutes gone. Foster with the throw. Meets the head of Brazil. It will be another corner. Maybe a bit of a cheap one to concede there. Just shows if you get it into the melting pot, you can always force the defence into making a decision they perhaps don't want to. And Southampton have conceded the corner. Third of the game for Durham. And another chance here for them to force Fran Stenson, the Saints goalkeeper, into some action. Of a drilled ball towards the far side of the penalty area. Put back into the mixer. There's the header to scramble on the line. And eventually Saints squeeze it clear. Durham pressing in the early stages. Could be a chance on the counter-attack for Southampton. Bourne. Goes direct. Lovely drilled ball out towards McGowan on the left. Just beaten to it in the nick of time by Air. Throwing goes away with the visitors. Durham certainly don't look like a side who are struggling at the wrong end of the table based off the opening 10 minutes of this one. However, they've nothing to show for that on the scoreboard. And that's maybe where their issues have lied this season. Saints come forward again, but once more the offside flag is off. It was another brilliant ball in from Heppel again, wasn't it? This time to the far post. Put back into the 6-yard box, and Southampton didn't look all too comfortable. Stenson just about doing enough there down to her left to scramble the ball clear. Saints looks like they were going to break to the other end, but for some scrambling defence from Durham to prevent the counter-attack. Neil Redfern was just issuing a number of instructions to his side. He looks to break forward again, but for a tug on the shirt of Ag. Free kick. Goes away with the home side. Amy Goddard with the infringement there. She'll tread the tightrope for the remainder of this one after being shown the yellow card. Free kick taken long by Durham. Primus lays it off. Ball down the touchline. Looking for Bashford. Good diagonal ball, gives Lucy Watson something to chase. Couldn't get there in the nick of time, but does force a throw in. More good moments in this one for the home side. They're on top. Just see Simon Parker in the bottom corner of your screen there. Cuts a calm figure, doesn't he, on the touchline. His side a bit on the back foot, and as they're coming together in the penalty area, Declan Brown, the referee, doesn't flinch. Southampton come away with it. Chance here for Southampton from the set piece. You can just see they've pushed bodies up from the back. We've not had too many opportunities to get the ball into the mixer. What can they muster up here? Durham with everyone back defending. Ball drilled towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Collett with the throw. Goes back into her own half of the field. Collected by Bourne, who goes all the way back to Stenson. Maybe Southampton just looking to take the sting out of this one a little bit. Just see Durham looking to press a little bit higher, forcing Stenson into a long ball. Had to be careful there as Lambert was lurking. Saints do really well to maintain the possession. Not the best pass out towards Collett, who keeps it in play in the nick of time. Palmer to Bourne. Out towards Collett. Long ball lofted down the touchline. Has to be defended. Primus was lurking in behind. Was defended. In the end, Foster just opts in to put it out for a throw-in. Chance here for Southampton to turn the screw in this one. Well, they tried to work it to Brazil on the right, however, she loses out in the challenge. Durham come away with it again. They're looking very comfortable in possession, Durham. This time go all the way back to Catriona Shepherd, the American goalkeeper. She's just getting her first few touches of the ball maybe as well. She's not had a save to make yet. Probably should have done. the best chance of the game has gone to Southampton on a counter-attack, but they didn't manage to muster an effort on goal. Could Durham be set to make them pay as Foster drives forward? Just loses track of the ball there. Here comes Southampton on the counter. Collett to Primus. Forced out towards the touchline. Bashford in support, just overruns it. Watson darts past a couple of challenges, breaks up towards halfway. Does well to maintain possession as well. Wants a free kick, will only be a throw-in. That just relieves some of the pressure on her side's defence. Both sides seem plenty of the ball in the early stages. You can see the possession stats, at nothing to separate them there, but it's what the teams have done with it which is the most obvious difference. 5 shots on goal from a Durham point of view. 2 of those rather going on target. Southampton yet to force an effort on Catriona Shepherd's goal. Durham have only won 3 games this season. 2 of those came here at Maiden Castle. Not the season that they maybe hoped for when it began. Opting to change head coach. The ever-experienced Neil Redfern now in the dugout. Got started with a defeat last time out against Ipswich, but he said he saw enough in that second half to convince him that there's enough in this side to be comfortable come the end of the season, as we can just see Ellie Brazil for Southampton down, receiving some treatment. Looks as though she's just rubbing the back of the hamstring on the right leg there. Maybe some concern here for Simon Parker. It's injuries to deal with throughout the season. Did welcome back Tegan McGowan to the starting 11. Today you could just see there she's stood by Brazil and the physio. Both sides have made their way towards the dugout to take on a few instructions. You feel as though it is Simon Parker who's probably got the more to say to his side of being on the back foot. The positive is that nothing to show for it on the scoreboard, 0-0. His second spell here. Left the club back in 2018 before returning a couple of years ago. Listen to him speak pre-match. He loves the attention to detail. Always insists that his players at the club have to be receptive to everything he says if it's going to work. And they've done okay this season, sitting in mid-table. Can they make a late push towards that top 3 of the division? Remains to be seen. They need to get started with 3 points here. However, they look like if they're going to manage to take Lewin back down to the South Coast, they're going to have to do it the hard way, because Durham have started well. Ellie Brazil makes her way towards the sidelines, where she'll have to remain for 30 seconds of play after receiving treatment. Southampton to get us back underway with the goal kick. Simpson made the run forward, lays the pass off. Once again, it's strong defending from Grace Eyre just to force the ball back towards the halfway line. Southampton still in possession though. Ball drilled down the touchline, looking for Brazil back on the field. What can she muster up? It's a driven ball into the penalty area. Anywhere will do for Durham. Collected by Goddard. Brazil once more looks for the give and go, gets a return as well. First time ball into the middle, it's a decent one. Durham come up with the defensive answers. The first time they've really looked stretched at the back. But just about they get it clear, throwing Southampton just shy of the halfway line. Collett with the ball in hand. Stenson. Goddard back to Stenson. Maybe a sign of patience here from Southampton. Southampton pressing a little bit higher here. They've won the possession back, scramble clear. Turning into a real tight tussle, this one. Wilson collects. Back towards Shepherd, former Sporting Lisbon goalkeeper. Plenty of experience in between the sticks. Played in the Champions League against the likes of Real Madrid and such. Gets her side on the front foot with a long ball forward here. Heppel heads on. Chased forward by Ag. In the end, it's Watson who goes in with a challenge, goes to ground, but concedes the goal kick in the process. Both these sides looking to press rather high up the field here. It's making for an entertaining game, and you just sort of feel that maybe a mistake could be the difference between the two sides this afternoon. Durham almost made one in the early stages. Fortunately for them, they weren't made to pay. Now they're on the front foot again. Briggs looked to work her way in towards the penalty area, but there's four in red and white there to snuff the attack out. McAloney loses out now. Toland. Well, 5 shots to 0 in favour of Durham. 2 of those going on target, however. On both of those occasions, Fran Stenson has come up with a save. It's been quite a straightforward for her opposite number. Shepherd yet to be forced into any meaningful action. However, as Palmer goes to ground, chance here for Southampton to change that. 22.5 gone. 0-0. He feels that Southampton may be the happier of the two with the scoreline based off the balance of play so far. Menacing ball in. Durham came up with the answers once more, collected by McGowan. Only got Ayr to beat, but Ayr comes up trumps again. Needs to be careful, just about wins aside the goal kick. Solid start to this one, Grace Ayr, the former Liverpool academy player. Also caps at youth level for England, 23 years old now, but just showing that she's still got that class and quality about her in the right back position. Signed a long-term deal up in the northeast with Durham at the beginning of the season. Looks to be in a very smart move from their point of view. Southampton win the possession back with Collin. Brazil looks in behind. Bashford chases, not going to get there. Even if she had the pace, she had the towering figure of Michaela Foster to try squeeze past. Shepherd not in any real rush to take the goal kick. Looks like she's going to go short before taking the long run up and launching it long up towards halfway. Looks like there could have been a bit of a shove in the back there on Lambert. Declan Brown, the ref, says nothing doing. Once again, Durham just give it away on halfway, but again, Southampton can't make them pay. You feel as though a goal would really liven things up and stretch the game here. And could be opportunity now. There's a shot from the edge of the area. McGowan with the first time effort, right-footed. Looked to bend it past Shepherd, who was alert to the danger. And in the end, it was a relatively straightforward save for herself. It was her who played aside into danger. Her clearance going straight towards Brazil. McGowan with the instinctive effort. Shepherd up to the task. 0-0. Brazil again. Top scorer for Southampton this season. Gives away the possession here, but does well to squeeze the ball out towards a touchline. Just kept in play, but a bit of confusion from Durham there. Sees them lose out in the challenge. McGowan has options. Goes for the touchline before it's played back in field this time towards McAloney. Ball into the penalty area. There's a shot. However, it will be ruled out. The offside flag goes up. That was the first time Southampton have really cut through the Durham defence. Primus puts the ball into the back of the net. Much to her dismay, it won't count, to the relief of Shepherd. McGowan there just showing what she can offer. Drilled ball in. It's a lovely bit of control as well, isn't it, from Atlanta Primus, but her efforts come to nothing after the flag goes up. Remains 0-0, but warning signs there. And Southampton will take some encouragement from that. Lambert, pass goes astray once more. Primus drops it off. Switched out towards the right side, but that was wayward. Foster with the throw in. Again, it's getting a bit scrappy here. Bit of confusion as to who that throw-in was. Southampton took it before the referee, Declan Brown, tells them that the ball had gone out of play. So Foster to take the throw again for Durham. Ball into Briggs. Doesn't find its intended target, but collected by Heppel, who hasn't really seen too much of the ball in this one. Good turn to switch it out towards the left. Durham go direct. Into penalty area, there's a coming together. It was a strong challenge. Foster left in a heap on the ground. And here the Durham bench aren't too happy. However, the referee had a pretty good view of that. Well, the ball was there to be won, wasn't it? Lovely ball over the top. No love lost in the tackle as Bourne and Foster came together. The referee judging Bourne to have done enough to get a boot on the ball. No penalty, the decision. And in the end, the Durham attack came to nothing. Will they be made to rue missed chances in this one? Tolan with a header. Stenson clears, Brazil underneath it. Collett. Brazil wants to thread the eye of the needle, pass. Foster tried to do the same for Durham. Neither came off. Here comes Brazil galloping down the right. Ball into McAloney, who just couldn't wrap a boot around it, goes out for a goal kick in the end. Not sure if that took a deflection or not. The referee says nothing doing. Goal kick to the hosts. It's Ag who takes the goal kick. Right-footed to drill it up towards halfway. Collected by Heppel. First touch wasn't the best. The second was even worse as she gives the possession away. Primus finds Palmer. Edge of the area. Palmer again. Can't bring it under control. Just deflects off of her right boot. Trickles out for a goal kick to Durham. Nice little intricate move there on the edge of the box. Just didn't come off at the last moment as Palmer tried to make that last run into the penalty area. Durham give the ball away again. Southampton do well to collect, but once again as they look to switch it out towards the right, just splits Collett and Brazil in two. Runs out for a throw-in. So the hosts. Southampton looking to get back to winning ways. They've not lost back-to-back games on too many occasions in WSL 2 this year, only once. That came in December, over after losing at Birmingham last week. Durham have the chance to inflict more misery on Simon Parker's side, who are in the possession now and they're growing into this one. Had one ruled out after Primus found the back of the net but was in an offside position. Ag goes to ground. Home side not too pleased, but play on. Here is Southampton. Good ball in at the far post. Well defended in the end. It was Wilson who did just about enough to force the ball out towards the touchline. Danger not averted yet, though. Wilson there again concedes a corner. Good moments for Saints. Corner taken into the mixer, drill ball in. Good punch clear from Shepherd. Southampton still on the attack. McAloney back out towards the left. Another drill ball in. Low trajectory on it. Referee spots enough in that one toward the free kick. McAloney dragged to ground there by Toland. Again, this will just afford Southampton the opportunity to maybe whip the ball back into the middle and test this Durham defence, who haven't kept a clean sheet in 14 games in all competitions. That would be cause for some concern for Neil Redfern. Simpson there to offer a left-footed option. That's the one that they take. Dealt with in the end by the Durham defence. Concede a throw-in. You can just see straight away Jess Simpson gallop across towards the touchline to Regather the ball. On loan from Manchester United, puts it in towards the 18-yard box, returned out towards Simpson. This time drills it in, volleyed clear by Toland. Watson back, helping out defensively. Clearance not the best as Ag was darting forward. In the end, it runs out for a throw-in to Durham, which Ayr will take. Shepherd clears. Ag again thought she was fouled. Declan Brown didn't agree. And again, Brazil has it. Looks to feed the pass towards penalty area, but once more, Foster up to the challenge. It's becoming an intriguing battle between those two on the right-hand side of the Southampton attack. LA Brazil proving to be a handful, but so far, Foster more than dealing with it. Into the last 9 minutes of the half we go. Call it with the volley forward. Again, the ball just pinballs around before eventually Durham scramble clear. Simpson. Down the line to McGowan before eventually it's switched out towards the right. Brazil with a bit of space to work with, drives forward. Options in field. Now it's Primus, looks for the 1-2. Toland reads well. Heppel just played herself into a bit of trouble there. Teammates there to help her out and clear it away. Now it's Southampton who are certainly looking to finish the first half the stronger of the two sides. 0-0 the score. Goddard plays it back towards Stenson, who turns it out towards Bourne. Under some pressure, but cool as you like, skips up towards halfway. Durham win it back. Here's Lambert. Looks for the 1-2, gets a return as well. Weaves away into the penalty area, almost an opening there. Foster, lovely footwork to take it past Brazil. Ball down the line finds Heppel. Opportunity for Durham. Options either side. Heppel tries to feed it in towards Ag. Southampton forced to concede the corner. Six minutes to go of the first half. Both sides still searching to break the deadlock. Durham with an opportunity to do so. Heppel's corner, drilled into the centre of the penalty area. Up the heads went. Cannoned off a couple before being turned back out towards Heppel. Now it's Watson who puts it back into the mixer. There's the effort from Foster. Just takes a deflection. Toland can collect. Puts it back in towards Foster, who was lurking in behind, but just too much on the ball. Runs out. It will be a goal kick to Southampton. Foster with the effort there and could have almost been in again in behind with that ball over the top. New Zealand international. Now spent 2.5 seasons here at Durham after signing from Auckland. showing her prowess at both ends of the field. Durham almost win it again there. After a tussle on the halfway, sees the ball land at the feet of McAloney. In behind, opportunity on the right. McGowan was through, however the offside flag prevents her from firing the trigger. Free kick goes away of the home side. It's been tightly contested at Maiden Castle in the opening 40 minutes. Both chances having sides having chances rather. Southampton have probably come the closer to taking the opening after the offside flag denied Atlanta Primus from close range. But Durham have more than held their own in this one. With 4 minutes to still go in the first half, they're looking to try break the deadlock. And how much of a lift will that give Neil Redfern's side? They've got a free kick just shy of halfway. Dee Bradley. On loan from Burnley, stands over the free kick as she just waits for the reinforcements to make their way up from the back.
Mickey, go on, right up against her. Go on. Go on.
Bradley's ball forward. Coming together on the edge of the box. Air gives it away. She'll have a teammate, Sarah Wilson, to thank at the break after she cleans up the mess and prevents a counter-attack. Southampton go more direct down centre of the field. They get the second ball as well as they look to advance up the right. Here's Brazil. Foster to beat. Coming together in back play there. The referee spotted it. Southampton are going to have a free kick here in a pretty dangerous position. There's another lovely diagonal ball, and it looked to have been Watson who just collided with Collett as she tried to draw on the attack. Cheap free kick to give away. Probably a little bit too far out to attempt an effort on goal. As Simpson stands over it once more, puts a cross in. It's a drilled one, flicked on, before again being scrambled clear. Bourne again. Long ball forward, lands just in the D. Good header clear by Wilson once more. This time Watson rises. Bourne goes back to Stenson. Well, a real to and fro across the halfway line sees Southampton come away with the possession. Brazil drives for the edge of the box, looks to feed it out towards Bashford, who can't quite keep it in the field of play. Goal kick, the decision. Southampton maybe just lacking a little bit of cohesion here. They've got themselves into some pretty good situations on the front foot. However, when that final ball comes, it's just not quite been good enough. Have to give some credit to the Durham defence as well, which has held firm in the first half. As both head coaches are going to get the opportunity to get some instructions into their sides in the break, but Durham now looking to go in there with an advantage. Here's Air. Skips past McGowan, brought to ground as well. Free kick, the decision. The game started with a really good tempo about it as well. In the last few minutes or so, it's become a little bit scrappy. Both sides giving away what I've heard head coaches refer to as needless free kicks. This being another one, as 2 minutes of additional time go up on the fourth official's board. A long ball comes forward from Durham. So into the final 2 minutes of the half. Good clearance from Southampton. Foster's touch goes astray. Could be a chance to counter. The door was seemingly slammed shut, but Southampton switch it out towards the left. McGowan, low ball in, menacing one. Air on hand to clear for the hosts. Now it's Saints looking to finish the half with a flurry. Throw in line with the penalty area. Lofted ball in. Bit of hang time on that as well. Bounces kindly for Foster to be able to volley clear. With the Saints return it right back downfield. Another shot from distance. Bashford gets it on the second attempt as well. Does well to control it with the head there before the ball drilled into the penalty area. Durham defending resolutely. Into the final minute. Primus plays it into Bashford. Edge of the area now. Collett looked to make a run in behind. She just has to retreat to collect the ball tight to the touchline. Does well to keep it in play and find Palmer. She clips it into the box at the far post. Shepherd had to be alert to that one. It just needed a touch and it would have surely found the back of the net. The touch didn't come. The danger there is it creeps past the goalkeeper, but quickly down to her right to prevent it from finding the bottom corner. Maybe time for one last attack in the half. Ball in behind again. Good defending this time from Bradley to win the possession back. Puts it out for a throw-in. Southampton quick to take it. This will be the last action of the first 45 minutes. Palmer weaves her way in. Heppel had to be careful as she went to ground with the challenge. Ball flashes across the 18-yard box. And that will be that for the first half here at Maiden Castle. Topsy-turvy game, both sides having plenty of opportunities to take the lead. However, neither managed to do so. Arguably the best chance of the game fell to Southampton in the opening 5 minutes or so after a loose pass saw Brazil breaking behind. Instead of going for goal herself, she squared it across towards Atlanta Primus, who couldn't find an effort from the angle. Around half an hour later, Primus had the ball in the back of her net herself. However, the offside flag going up to deny her. Durham have created a number of opportunities. Shots from the edge of the box from Foster. Watson having one there as well. However, couldn't quite manage to break the deadlock. So there's a couple of duck eggs on the scoreboard after the first 45 minutes. At half-time it is Durham 0, Southampton 0. Doesn't seem to have been any substitutions as we begin the second 45 minutes. Tussle for possession. On that far side, the ball, maybe a bit of head tennis going on as eventually it breaks. And here's Ag. Early chance for Durham. Ball into the penalty area. Keeper comes quick as a flash, beats Lambert to it. Solid goalkeeper there from Franz Denson. Assured at the back as well after the defence was breached. But early warning signs for the visitors. Again, real tussle for possession. Tegan McGowan goes to ground. Looking in a bit of discomfort. Declan Brown halts proceedings. Didn't blow for a foul there, just a coming together. Imagine it will be a drop ball to get things back underway. Will Simon Parker be forced to look to his bench here? He's got a plethora of options on there. Keeping a close eye on things, but the like of Abigail Ferguson returning. Maria Edwards on there as well as Esther Roberts. Always offering the opportunity to switch things up. Back underway. Simpson's ball down the touchline deflects, throwing to Southampton. Bourne back to Stenson. Bourne once more. Primus sitting a little bit deeper here as the ball is switched out towards the far side. Durham collect. Ag again, can't bring it under control. Southampton win the possession back. Maybe a tug on the shirt there from Toland. Advantage played by the referee. Low ball into the box again. Durham come up with the answers. This is high, it hangs as well. Played towards the edge of the box. Lambert on the end of it. Looks to make her way up towards halfway line. Can Durham break? Was an ambitious ball into the path of Ag, who couldn't get on the end of it. The home side, the home dugout wanted the free kick there. Referee says nothing doing, throwing Southampton. Driven ball forward, doesn't provide too much of a test to the Durham defence. Runs all the way through towards Catriona Shepherd. This time Durham go a bit more direct. However, no one in blue anticipating that ball. Molly Lambert the closest to it as she makes a run in behind. Now playing in the colours of Durham. She's done a bit of a tour of the North-Easters. Molly Lambert played for the likes of Newcastle, Sunderland and now Durham. How she'd love a goal here to give her side the lead, but they've got defending to do. Good break forward from McGowan again. Into the penalty area. Look at the footwork. Tries to drill it across. Well, the footwork didn't quite throw Grace Eyre off, whose tackle was a good one. Does concede the corner. Imagine in her mind that was probably the best case scenario as McGowan broke in towards the box. Corner Southampton, it's high, it's hanging again. Always a tester for a defence when a ball comes in like that, but Durham are up for it, and they could break forward now. Lambert chases. Bourne back defending. Lambert drills it across, had to be dealt with, it was dealt with. Durham may be disappointed there not to have managed to force an effort on goal. Now it could be Southampton on the counter-attack. They win a throw-in right in front of their head coach, Simon Parker, watching on. Palmer's shot ball courses are coming together as Bashford goes to ground. Free kick goes away of Saints.
Come on.
Mary Bashford in the thick of things this afternoon. Signed from Charlton. Looking to make an impact in this one, as her side now have a free kick, and again reinforcements from the defence go forward. It is Bourne standing over it, opts to go short. Eventually in it comes. Tester for the goalkeeper. Shepherd makes it look also easy, and gets the side on the counter again. Lambert. Simpson to beat, couldn't do so. Strong defending once again from Simpson, as Primus's ball deflects out for a throw-in. Very scrappy in the middle. this game earlier in the season, finished level pegging as well. 1-1 the score on that occasion. But now Southampton are looking for all three. McGowan towards the edge of the area, brought to ground by Bradley. That will surely be a yellow card for the Island International. It is. And a real opportunity here for Southampton to create something. Brilliant run forward there from McGowan. Palmer standing over at the free kick. Options in the penalty area, all the ones to go for goal. 5 in the wall for Durham, who are lining up a substitution as Palmer shimmies, hits it. It's a good strike. It's a good save as well by the goalkeeper. For a second, Amy Palmer probably thought she was going to find the bottom corner with that effort. However, Shepherd leaps to her right to claw the ball past the post. Corner kick Saints. In it comes, centre of the area. Real confusion again. Anywhere will do. Southampton starting to show the prowess in this one. Well, Grace Collinson enters the field in place of Lily Agg, who will watch the final 35 minutes or so of this one from the dugouts. Strong impact from Agg, but now it's Collinson who enters the field as Neil Redfern rolls the dice for the first time this afternoon. Only 18 years old, Grace Collinson. An academy graduate, but she has been capped at England under-19s level as well. Highly thought of here in the Northeast. She got an opportunity to show what she can do as her side advance down the right once again. Throw-in. It looked to be taken by Watson. She just opts to leave the ball for Eyre to collect. Wilson just caught on the ball there. Good play from McAloney to win the possession back. Now it's Simpson who looks to cut inside. However, just runs into a bit of traffic there. Brilliant play from McAloney to spot the space. Lovely Cruyff turn in possession. Wins a free kick as well. Another darting run forward from Michaela McAloney. Scottish Youth International, joined the club from Hibs. She's had a fine impact since coming into the fray as well. 3 goals this season for the 24-year-old. Now Simpson looks to put the ball in towards the danger area. Deflects. Southampton still in possession. McGowan in space. Drills it in low. Across goal. Deflects. There's a shot. Over the crossbar from Primus. That was a real chance. The ball fell kindly towards the edge of the penalty area. Right-footed strike. Atlanta Primus just gets too much underneath the ball, puts it over the crossbar. Shepherd was stranded, but much to her relief, goes out for a Durham goal kick. This time, Durham up not to go short. This catch runner Shepherd there has been booked for time wasting by the referee Declan Brown. She ushered players up from the back before switching the ball towards the other side of the 6-yard area. The referee leaps into action as Southampton come forward again. Throw in for Durham. Tight to the right-hand side. There's confirmation of that yellow card for Catriona Shepherd. Bench don't seem too happy with it, but Southampton now looking to turn the screw. They've certainly grown into this one in the last few minutes or so. Ball up down the centre of the field. Again, it's scrambled clear by Durham. Both sides just looking to try and keep the foot on the possession here, and here's Brazil for Southampton. Drill ball in, deflects, it had to as well. It was 2-on-2 inside the penalty area with Primus lurking on the edge of the box. In the end, it will be a corner kick to the Saints. Simpson stands over the corner. In swinging, clipped in towards the 6-yard area again. Meets the head. However, not diverted goalwards. Again, decent contact on that. You feel as though it's hard for the goalkeeper to keep it out. Much to Catriona Shepherd's relief. Flashes past the post. Goal kick the decision. As Neil Redfern goes to his bench once more, Tyler Toland replaced, this time by Amber Keegan-Stubbs. On to try and make an impact in the final 32 minutes of this one. Tyler Toland back in the starting 11 this afternoon for Durham. Didn't have the same impact as she did when she came off the bench last time out to get on the score sheet. However, a solid afternoon for her as Durham come forward. But the offside flag goes up against Molly Lambert. Free kick will go the way of Southampton. Air with the throw-in for Durham. Right in front of her interim head coach. Down the line it goes. Deflects, repeat throw-in. Taken quickly. Lambert beaten to it, but wins a corner. And an opportunity here for Durham to create. This game needs a goal, you feel. It will certainly open things up as whoever may go behind has to push for the equaliser. Both of these sides look dangerous on the counter. In comes Durham's corner. Low one in, doesn't beat the first defender. Mary Bashford there to clear. Looks as though there's going to be a second chance there for Durham to get the ball into the middle, but again, strong defending from the Saints. Sees them win a throw-in on the halfway line. Goddard with the diagonal. Meets ahead of Brazil. Shepherd there to collect. She's certainly been busier in the opening 15 minutes of the second half as she was the first. Catriona Shepherd. Saints come forward again. Floated ball towards the far post, however no one there in red and white to collect. Seemed confident to try and let it run out for a throw-in, however, hooked back in towards the penalty area. Durham clear, collected by Simpson. Finds herself under some pressure from Watson, who does really well. Now Lambert collects a possession, gets it on the deck as well as Durham looks to advance forward. Down the touchline, Easy read this time. Simpson collects, wins a throw-in off Lambert.
Well done, mate. Well done.
Grace Eyre against Tegan McGowan's made for an interesting contest as well. Grace Eyre has been strong in defence, but there's been a couple of occasions where McGowan's got in behind. I feel as though that when she manages to do so, that's when Saints are at the most dangerous. As Briggs collects a possession for Durham. Eyre looks down the line, just bundled over by McGowan, who protests her innocence with the referee Declan Brown, but free kick goes away with Durham. Wilson, the Durham captain, over the free kick, goes down the touchline but doesn't get her angle right. Bounces over the touchline for a throw into the visitors as the clock continues to tick down. You do start to wonder if Durham may be happy with a point or maybe forced to settle for a point and change their mindset to a more defensive one. When I look at the league table, this will take them a point clear of relegation. Southampton looking to come forward, winding running field. Can Durham counter? Over the halfway line, in behind, real opportunity, however Heppel just can't get there, quick as a flash. The goalkeeper Stenson out of her 6-yard area, collects the ball and relieves the pressure. So as it stands, Durham up to 9th place with the point. Only bottom will go down. That is a space occupied by Portsmouth at the minute. 14 points they are on, as are Ipswich, as it's heating up at the business end of the season. Here come Durham again, in behind. Watson just couldn't get the ball out of her feet. A couple of moments in the last few minutes or so, Durham have looked to finally open it. However, the Saints defence on every occasion has just about done enough to avert the danger. Durham come forward again, the ball bounces up and wickedly, and in the end Stenson had to come and collect. She did so. Southampton almost give it away again. Primus back there with a weak pass, falls towards Heppel on the edge of the area before no nonsense from Bourne to just volley it downfield. Collected by Bradley, who turns it back to Shepherd. Those two play a bit of keep ball between each other before Keegan Stobbs turns it back to the goalkeeper. She finds herself back in the possession now with space to move into. Floats the ball over the top, but far too much on it. Stenson collects. Nothing to separate these two sides. It's almost been like a game of chess at times, hasn't it? Both just trying to move each other about and find that gap in behind to find a goal, which could be the difference in this one now. Southampton again looking to make inroads as the ball just runs under the boot of Keegan Stobbs to let them in down the right. Options in the middle as well. Drill ball in, deflects. Will it fall to Primus? It will. She tries to wind her way through. However, hacked clear. A shot then from distance. Palmer with the ambitious effort. However, runs well wide of Catriona Shepherd's goal. Will be a goal kick. She's going to have to be in a hurry to take this one, of course, on a yellow card after being booked for time wasting around 10 minutes ago or so. Maybe a clever play here from Durham to get Sarah Wilson to take the goal kick. She's, of course, not on a yellow card. so wouldn't run that risk of a red. To say that, it is Shepherd who eventually does take it, though, lays it off towards Wilson, who first time hammers it up towards halfway. Watson looks to win it, may have a second chance at doing so as Goddard went in there with the challenge. The two towering centre-backs of Southampton this afternoon. They've held firm so far as well. That back line of Saints is a big gun. Difficult for most sides to break down. However, Durham are looking to do just that. Here's Lambert to the byline. Options in the middle. Finds Briggs, who maybe wasn't anticipating the ball to go where it was. One player who did, though, was McGowan, who intercepts and manages to clear downfield with the ball. Back towards the goalkeeper, Shepherd. Shepherd has it again. This time the press isn't as keen from Southampton as she just rolls the studs across the top of the ball before finding Wilson, who goes long. Said in the first half that you feel as it might be a mistake that costs one of these sides the game. So far it's been almost flawless from the defensive point of view. And now Southampton look to get in behind. Good challenge comes in. Bradley had to get that right. Did so as well. Gets a kind deflection. High fives from the goalkeeper. Always a risk when you go to ground inside the penalty area. But Bradley got that one spot on. Winter side the possession back. But you have to say in the second half, it is Southampton who've grown into it. They're on top now in the possession stats. The first half we saw it was Durham who more or less dominated them, but the Saints seeing the better of the second 45 minutes. But once again, neither side have made it count on the scoreboard. 0-0 as we head towards the final 20 minutes of this one. Here's Heppel, does well to twist and turn away from Atlanta Primus and wins a free kick for her side. Keegan Stobbs, flicks it over the top. Heppel on the end of it. Primus to beat. But it's Alata who gets the better and gets Southampton back on the attack. Bashford bundled over. Just shy of the halfway line. Keegan Stobbs there with the foul this time. Card stay in the pocket of Declan Brown, but does give a free kick to Southampton. Southampton on the move. Here's Simpson. Options in the middle. Floats the ball into the penalty area. Bashford was lurking. Ball stays in the field of play. Here's Brazil. Floats the ball into the penalty area. Up the heads go again. It's Durham who managed to clear. Ball back in from Southampton. They're starting to really press in this one. 50-50 on the touchline. Decision goes away of Southampton, who have a throw in. It's taken quickly as well. Bashford, the target, didn't manage to get onto the end of it. Here's Lambert. What can Durham do on a counter? Space to work with on the left. Cuts back to find Heppel. She knows where the goal is. Drives down the left. Plenty of options. Lambert held up. Good defence by Southampton. the ball ends up all the way back, almost on halfway there. But Neil Redfern will be happy to see his side have a little bit of possession after some good defensive work. Here's Air, one to beat. Just runs into a bit of traffic. Gives away the possession, only for a moment or so as Durham have it back. Foster tries to feed it through the gap, but Primus picks it up and the referee waves the advantage. And here comes Southampton again. Bashford looking to feed it round the corner there for Brazil to get onto the end of. Couldn't do so.
Well done, Molly.
Again, another decision for Declan Brown to make is awarded in Southampton's favour, so opportunity for them here to gather the ball back from the drop ball. McGowan, space to it on the left, looks for the give and go. Collected by Simpson, who, quick as a flash, had a lot of work to do there to keep hold of the possession. Couldn't manage to do so. Defence is on top in this one. As you can see, both of them very active. It's Durham who've had to adopt the more no-nonsense approach. However, they'll be happy to protect that 0 on the scoreboard. Pepper wins the header. However, her side don't repay the favour as a shot from distance doesn't trouble Shepherd. Maybe a sign of the frustration there from Bashford on the spin. Southampton growing ever more desperate to try find an opener. As Layla McFarland is ready to enter the field for the final quarter of an hour or so. She's on in place of Lauren Briggs. Neil Redfern again using his substitutes to try help his side find an opener in this one. As the clock continues to tick down, the first goal looks likely that it could be the only goal as well. And how big could 3 points be for either side here? Out towards the far side, it goes off the right boot of Bashford, but doesn't get the angle right, and the throw-in goes away of Durham. Breaking play here as Jess Simpson is down, requiring some treatment. You can see already the left knee is heavily strapped. The physio on to tend to that, as just see a couple of the Saints players in red and white make their way across towards the dugout as Simon Parker and both coaches maybe take the opportunity to get some instructions into their side. Simon Parker also maybe looking for his bench as Abigail Ferguson is stripped and ready to come on, as is Rachel Brown, who will enter the field for the final 14 minutes. So both coaches have shown their hand in terms of substitutes. It's confirmation of those substitutes. Jess Simpson and Atlanta Perinis are taken off by Simon Parker in place of Abigail Ferguson and Rachel Brown. What impact can they have from the bench in the final 13 minutes of play here?
And Atlanta Perinis replaced by Abigail Ferguson.
Back underway. Durham with it. The ball just played down the channel as Lambert was lurking. Couldn't get close to it, but applies the pressure. Southampton do well to work it out towards Brown, the substitute on the left. Plays it down the touchline. But it's collected by McAloney. Now McGowan takes charge. Drives to the penalty area. McAloney towards the byline, but just too much on it from her point of view. The ball runs straight out of play for a goal kick. Maybe sums up Southampton's day in front of goal. Getting decent positions, but when it just comes to trying to find that final ball in, it's simply just not come off for them.
Back to front. Yes, Mal, in front. Little touch. Yeah, good. Well done, good. Well. Man on now. Turn it down. Turn it down. Turn it down. Man on. Good. Get in front. Push it down. Kelly, go on. You got more than 21, okay?
Stenson. Southampton playing from the back. Patient build-up play as they look to open the scoring. We're up to 79 minutes and neither side managing to do so, but it's a wicked ball down the touchline. Looking again for McGowan, who couldn't keep it in play. Throwing goes away. Of the home side, Air with the ball in hand.
Look at Layla. Layla. Yes, Layla. Good. Yes, Polly. And again. Get in front.
Again, a lot of 50-50s around the halfway line. It's Southampton who this time pick up the possession. A real scrap in this one. However, they give it away as soon as you win it, and it could be an opportunity here for Durham. Space on the left. McFarland runs into a bit of trouble, into a lot of trouble maybe, as it's won back, this time by Goddard, who darts forward. Options either side. Chance to get the ball into the middle. Brazil with it, past one for the byline. What a run this is. Cuts back as well. Bit of confusion in the centre as Durham live to tell the tale. Now look to launch a counter of their own, somewhat resembling a basketball game the last couple of moments or so. However, Durham's attack doesn't come to anything. They will, though, have a throw-in on the near side. Breaking play. I think it's Brazil down, needing some treatment inside the 6-yard box after that winding run into the penalty area. Looked for a second as though she was going to cut it back and put it on a plate for someone in red and white to turn home. However, Durham scrambled well. And again, another breaking play, which will just give both head coaches a moment or two to reassess and maybe try give some advice, which will see their side take all 3 points for this one. Evenly contested. And nothing to separate the two sides. Stick or twist must be the decision going through both head coaches' minds. Do you risk losing the point to try get all 3? You can just say that some of the words from the benches. A big 10 minutes, come on, was a cry from the blue side as Neil Redfern there just offering words of encouragement as Grace are ready to get this one back underway. Into the final 7.5 minutes, one goal could be the difference. McFarland tries to feed it through the gap, couldn't do so. Wins a throw nonetheless. Wilson. Again, loose ball. And again, Southampton come forward. Winding run from the touchline again. And once more, Durham just keep on finding the answers at the back, don't they? Looking for the first clean sheet in 15 games. They've not really been too stretched in this one as they come forward, looking what could be a winning goal. McFarland back up the line. Foster's ball into the middle. Flicked clear, not the best clearance. Falls at the boot of Watson, who tries to turn it towards the byline, deflects out. Corner kick to Durham. I think at this stage, in a boxing match, you call it the championship rounds, where just need one moment of magic and you've probably taken the win home. That's what Durham will be hoping for here from the corner kick. In it comes. Wicked ball towards the far post. Headed clear, coming together. Free kick goes the way of Southampton. And a moment's respite for their defence, who have come up trumps on this occasion. Thankfully, Amy Goddard looks okay to continue. It looks as though she was in a bit of discomfort after going to ground after winning that header. Local to the area, Amy Goddard from Hampshire came through the local football academy there. Did spend some time up in the northeast playing for Sunderland, the 27-year-old. Plenty of experience in that back line. And again, some strong defending from her again. There she is again with the header up towards halfway. Durham looking to try and break forward. There's Maria Edwards now on the field as the ball comes towards the edge of the 6-yard box, coming together. Shepherd in the end managed to get on to the end of it. It wasn't all too convincing, was it, from the Durham goalkeeper, but she just did enough. Again, Edwards with the ball in towards the penalty area. The first action from Maria Edwards. Put it right into that area of uncertainty. But strong goalkeeping from Shepherd prevents the danger. So just confirmation, Tegan McGowan replaced by Maria Edwards for the final couple of minutes of this one. Brazil's been in the wars, hasn't she? She tried to get onto the end of that one on this occasion. You can just see Edwards to the left of your picture there, making sure she's okay after she put the ball in, which almost saw Southampton take the lead. Maria Edwards spent time in the Manchester City and Manchester United Academy. Highly thought of here in the North East. She signed her first professional contract over in the Foreign Bundesliga with Essen before joining Durham back in 2025. Spells with Blackburn in there as well. There's Ellie Brazil gets back onto her 2 feet and makes her way towards the sidelines, where she'll have to spend the next 30 seconds. Two and a half minutes of the normal 90 remaining. Imagine we'll have a fair amount of added time as well after a number of stoppages for injuries throughout the second half. Shepherd puts the ball to ground before going long to try and get her side on the front foot as they search for a winner. Ball returned straight back down towards Katarina Shepherd. Collects it on the edge of a penalty area and this time goes short. Here come Durham into the penalty area. Stays in the field of play as well. Molly Lambert's right-footed ball deflects. Head in her hands there. That was an opportunity for the home side. Quick break forward. Again, just lacking the final product inside the penalty area. And another chance goes astray. 90 seconds of the 90 minutes remaining. Going to be a long throw from Durham here into the penalty area. A cluster of blue jerseys away at the near post. Flicked on, bounces, headed up but not away. Real mess inside the box as Collinson goes to ground holding ahead, but Lambert plays on, goes for the byline, just can't find the space to cross. Goal kick to the visitors. And now it's Stenson who's looking like she's in a bit of a rush to take this one as her side go in search for a winner. Across the edge of the season, Southampton have averaged 2.5 goals a game. They've not quite managed that this afternoon. A frustrating afternoon for them against a stubborn Durham defence, and now it's the home side looking to try and find a winner. Air with support from Watson. Turns out of danger, finds space as well. Winding run forward there from Watson before switching it out towards the touchline. Brilliant play from her. Foster, ball into the middle, takes a deflection. Still the chance here, in it comes. Southampton up to the task again. And then the free kick eventually goes away to Simon Parker's side. And Millie Mott will come on for the final 8 minutes of additional time in this one. So 8 minutes either of these sides have to try and find a winning goal. Can somebody make themselves a hero? Can somebody find that goal that the game's been crying out for all so long? Both sides need the points for different reasons. Will anybody come up trumps? Here come Durham on the attack. Watson looks for space, can't quite find it, forced towards a corner flag, gets a cross in, deflects, and it will be a corner kick to Durham. 1 minute of the 8 additional played, and a real chance here for them to find the opener. 91 minutes into the game as Neil Redfern searches for his first win as Durham interim boss. Declan Brown, the referee, keeping a close eye on things in the middle. He spotted something he's not all too happy with. He wants a word before this will be swung into the penalty area. Now ready for the corner to be taken. In it comes, drilled in, centre of the penalty area. Good punch clear from Stenson. Still an opportunity here for Durham. Watson again puts the ball in, but the referee spots are coming together. The yellow card there shown to Abigail Ferguson as well. Cynical challenge to bring Beth Heppel to ground. And the free kick goes away to Durham in a menacing position. Clumsy there from the 21-year-old Scottish youth international, Abigail Ferguson. We're going to have a changing ball here as well before the free kick to be taken. Right on the corner of the 18-yard box. Watson with the ball in hand. Heppel there to offer the right-footed option too. And a queue of blue shirts in the middle. In the ball comes. Oh, it nearly loops over the head of Stenson, but for the outstretched right arm, a brilliant save from her. That's the closest Durham have come to taking the lead in this one. Wicked ball in. Good goalkeeping from Stenson. From the right. Almost got her angles wrong, but did just enough to prevent it from hitting the back of the net. Corner kick to Durham. Drilled in towards the near post this time. Pinballs around the 18-yard box before being hacked clear. Still a chance. There's the effort on goal. Watson with it. Couldn't keep it down. Goal kick Southampton. And that was probably Durham's best spell in the game, but couldn't make it count on the score sheet. 0-0. Southampton looking to break forward, but it's good defending there from Molly Lambert to win it back and get her side back on the attack. Pass goes astray on the edge of the penalty area though. Now it's Southampton looking to counter. Edwards drives down the touchline, air to beat. Edwards just rolls the boot over the top of the ball, gets past air as well into the penalty area, stretches to try turn it towards goal. Scrambling defence there from Durham, comes up trumps. Now they have the throw in line with their own penalty area.
Over Lucy's head. Get the second phase, Molly. Molly, get the second phase. Up, up.
Throw down the line, shoving the back there from McFarlane. Free kick Southampton. Cheap one to give away there. Bourne looks like she wants to take it quickly.
Switch on, come on. Lucy.
Tara Bourne played in the academy of Manchester United, Manchester City and Liverpool. Plenty of quality in the delivery, which she's shown in the past. Can she deliver here? Floats it towards the penalty area. Goalkeeper comes and punches. Brilliant goalkeeping there from Shepherd. It's collected by Durham as well as Collinson looks to break forward. Across halfway, just overruns it ever so slightly. Managed to win the second ball, but the pass goes astray. McAloney does well to keep hold of possession. Plays a 1-2 before firing the diagonal. Foster collects. Into the final 2 minutes we head. Can anybody make themselves a hero and find a winner here? Looks to be a valuable point from a Durham point of view regardless. 3 would be priceless. You could say the same for Southampton as well, who, coming into this one, held faint hopes of making a push towards the top end of the table. However, they've given the possession away. Lambert beaten to it, collected by Air. What options await in the middle? Tries to drill it in, won't get the corner, but will get the throw. 90 seconds to go, getting to now or never time for either of these sides, as the home sides try to make their voices heard and get behind their side. Throwing taken, not the best. Air does everything she can to try retrieve the possession. A real scramble, almost falls and breaks for Watson, who just sees the ball cannon off her shin. And with less than 60 seconds remaining, you get the feeling that may be that this afternoon. But not the best clearance from Southampton. And maybe one last final opportunity for Durham to find a winner. Air with it. Surely she's just going to look down the line. Not too many options on for her here as she steals a few extra yards forward. Wins a repeat throw in, this time in line with the penalty area. Brazil back helping out defensively. Turning backs to the wall here for Southampton as the clock ticks down. We've got about 20 seconds of this one remaining. In the throw comes. Turned back out towards the right-hand side, but McFarland again, she's done that a couple of times, rather clumsy to give away the free kick. That may just deny her side the opportunity to create one last effort in front of goal. We've had the 8 minutes of additional time. Declan Brown now allowing added time into the added time as Durham and Southampton desperately try to scramble the ball forward. Here come the Saints. Diagonal over the top. Foster there. Not the best defensive header. Brazil tries to wind her way into the penalty area. Couldn't do so. Goal kick is a decision. And full time is a decision from the referee as well. Nothing to separate the two sides after 98 minutes of this one. Durham will surely be the happier of the two sides with the point as they look to rescue themselves from that relegation place at the bottom. They now sit 1 point clear of Portsmouth after Southampton, where it looks as though it might be mission impossible as they chase down the top three in WSL 2. It's a topsy-turvy game which was ultimately lacking in quality in the final third. The only time the ball did hit the back of the net was in the first half, where Atlanta Primus on the spin managed to fire home, only for the offside flag to rule her goal out. It was Durham who finished the game, the stronger of the two sides as well. A free kick from the right-hand side taken by Watson, driven towards goal, forcing a stunning save from Stenson. Instinctive stuff from the Southampton goalkeeper to keep it out of the back of the net as Neil Redfern on the pitch embraces with his players. A point earned this afternoon for his side, the first point since he took interim charge of the club, as he looks to guide them to safety. This is the second time this season Durham and Southampton have played out a draw. Simon Parker will travel back down to South Coast, asking questions as to how they perhaps didn't manage to create anything more in front of goal. The inquest looks to begin now as his side gather in their half of the field. Neil Redfern looks to do the same with his, as the home fans stay behind to show their appreciation for their side. Could be a big afternoon in the WSL 2, but the first game of it is finished here in the Northeast. Durham 0, Southampton 0.